We got a thumbs up.
We did. Okay. All right. Think we good? All right. Welcome everyone to City Council work session. It's Monday, June 29th, 2026 at about 4:43 p.m. in the Thomas J. Smith Council Chambers, City Hall, 400 Washington Street, Burlington, Iowa. First up, we have our discussion items, and the first one is the Treasurer's Report.
In the packet is the May Treasurers Report. So we'll be making transfers and stuff later this summer. So this is kind of where we're at right now, but there's a lot of things. There's transfers, and I'm waiting for grant funds to come in. So I didn't see anything that stood out to me as something as unusual that I wouldn't expect. So if you guys have any questions.
Any questions from the council?
No,
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, and next up we have the 400 block Jefferson Street mural. And we have Amy White.
Excuse me.
Welcome.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amy Moiner. I'm the Executive Director of Downtown Partners, a division of the Greater Burlington Partnership, and I brought with me Stephanie Breakville and Elizabeth Pappas, who are part of the Design Committee. I will list out the Design Committee later on, but Kay Weiss also serves on that for us, so thank you so much. But we are going to be talking about the 400 block mural, but of course, whenever I'm in front of you, I have to remind you of some things. First off, we are part of Main Street America, a national accredited program, and also part of Main Street Iowa. There are 54 other cities in the state of Iowa that are part of this program. We are celebrating our 40th year of Main Street in downtown Burlington, and so the picture on the left was April of 1986, the ribbon cutting of the Main Street program, and we recreated that this last, was it May, I think, we were out there, during a farmer's market with our block captains. So I'm going to tell you again, like I always do, our vision and mission. So the vision of downtown Burlington is to be a unique and vital downtown that celebrates history, encourages entrepreneurial spirit, artistic expression, entertainment activity, hospitality to visitors, and instills a sense of place in the community. Downtown Partners, Inc. is a volunteer-driven Main Street program established to preserve and revitalize downtown Burlington while improving the quality of life of the community. And so I say that because we're going to be talking about this project and all the projects that we do. We hope that it encompasses both our vision and mission when we talk about it. I've talked about the numbers before, but we've had a lot of accomplishments in 2025. 7 new businesses opened in downtown, and now we've had 3 or 4 already open in 2026 with another 3 opening soon. 2 businesses expanded, 15 new residential units added. We had $15 million of private investment. I know everyone thinks Tiger Project's a lot of that. No, private investment is happening. $15 million this last year and $50 million since 2020. And all the other fun things, lots of volunteer hours. So just covering real quick our transformational strategies, because again, this goes into this project that we're talking about. First is our transformational strategies are business retention and growth. We want to be sure that we retain our businesses. So out of 52 new businesses that we've opened up in the last 5 years, only 10 have closed. So we give them the support needed to stay open through different marketing, also professional development and tools that they need. Social gathering spaces, so events with social gathering as well. So always trying to find those spaces where the community can come and feel as their third place, being downtown. And then residential amenities as well. We're still working on a grocery store, still trying to work on more of those amenities for our residents and our community. That just shows our goals for the year. So our design committee, what we're working on, we're always working on aesthetics in downtown. Benches, holiday decor. We do public art. We have had cleanup campaigns. We do the Blade Sign grants. We have our flower planters and our flower planting, but also fundraising for the new flower planters as well. So different art in downtown. You can see some of those pieces here. In 2021, Design Committee helped with a leadership class project, putting the mural on the side of the Drake restaurant overflow there. And then also, we've helped with the Art Center murals on 3rd Street, and also different projects being a catalyst for more art in the downtown, such as the 300 block alleyway, 8th and Jefferson. We did some dumpster painting, and the latest piece was on Central and Washington there on the LGH warehouse. So lots of art happening, popping up in downtown, and we're just happy to celebrate that. So art helps with growth, vibrancy, and that sense of place. And every dollar invested in the arts generates an average return of $5 in economic activity. So we want to see more art and more artists in our community doing these fun things and generating more money for us. So this is the dumpster painting we did last summer during, it was like the hottest farmer's market ever. But here's some of those other pieces I was talking about. So art also brings great photo-worthy selfies and things like that as well. So we see the busted cup down below. Again, the Art Center put a mural, those collaboration of murals on their building, and then that one catalyst piece, the Welcome to Burlington, that happened in 21-22. So this 400 block wall has been staring at us. It's a blank slate, needs something there. So I just want to put you in the mind frame of where we're at. So this is the 400 block of Jefferson. Over to the left, bottom left, that's Muntz. Underneath there's the loft. We've got some services. Under there, Lorena is under the canopies. And so that's the wall we're talking about. The total of that wall is about 750 square foot. So design committee has been looking at this since, when did Tiger in? 23, 24, and trying to think what that could be. And so they got together, and we just said to AI, of course this is AI, okay, this is not us, AI renderings, what could this be? Some of the committee members wanted to see abstract art. Some wanted to see music to go with months, and also farmers market. We always have the music down there in that block. We wanted to talk about our history, our timeline, the railroad, the steamboats, things like that. And then we talked about prairie grass and Aldo Leopold being part of that as well. So what happened was we decided on an Aldo Leopold theme for this. There are a lot of cars that park there, so we didn't really want interaction with that. And so we sent an RFP to the artist, and I'm going to have Elizabeth read that RFP to you just so you can understand the mindset of the artist before we show you some of those things.
So downtown Burlington is seeking proposals from artists to create a mural on a new retaining wall located in the heart of downtown. This wall is part of a streetscapes enhancement project and is visible from the street. While the wall will not be a space for direct interaction, the mural is intended to serve as a subtle, beautiful backdrop that enhances the downtown environment. The selected mural design should reflect themes of nature, prairie grass, and the legacy of Aldo Leopold, an important figure in conservation whose influence has strong roots in Burlington. So, like Amy had mentioned, the wall size approximately 750 square feet. Location context, we talked about, the retaining wall sits between the side street parking and sidewalk in front of downtown buildings. It is primarily a visual backdrop. Pedestrian access directly in front of the wall is limited. Tables and seating will be added above the mural on the sidewalk in the future. The design intent, we are seeking a design that is subtle yet visually engaging, incorporating natural elements that reflect the local prairie landscape and nods to Aldo Leopold's conservation legacy. The mural should complement the downtown aesthetic while elevating the streetscape. Artist eligibility and selection, open to all artists. Priority consideration will be given to those with a connection to Burlington and or an understanding or interpretation of Aldo Leopold's work and philosophy.
So that RFP was sent out, press releases also on our Iowa, we've got a couple through the state of Iowa, artist sites. And then we decided to put my name on a wall as well. So this was an AI rendering. Elizabeth and I did go out and actually chalk that on for a fun video. But ultimately, we sent this as a press release. KWQC, WQAD, Des Moines Register all picked that up. And so we had 27 artists reach out. 10 of those actually applied. And from those, the design committee narrowed it down to 3 artists. So those artists Erin Cartel, she is a local artist. This is some of her work that she's done prior. She's well known at the Snake Alley Art Fair and at the Art Center.
She just won an award this last week and a half.
Yes. So you can see very natural, uses some vibrant colors there, but that is one of the artist's work. We have David Mumma, and his work, he's raised in Burlington, studied conservation, and is a huge fan of Aldo, as you can see by some of his pieces. So those are some of his sketches there. And then we had Shane, Mayahi. Yep. Shane is a local artist. He's at the Art Center at Aldo Leopold Intermediate School. He volunteers with the Leopold Landscape Alliance, and this work here, it can be seen, those 3 murals in the middle-ish there. Those can be seen at the Catfish Corner at the Historical Society. So those are our 3 artists we've narrowed it down to. Now what we've asked them to do is kind of give us some renderings. They're not all complete yet, so these are just some of those proposals to show what some of that art could look like on that wall. But all 3 are amazing artists. So not only do we want to do that, we also would like to add Leopold benches. So some of the problems, I won't say problems, some opportunities that we have on that block is more seating. So Tiger Project went through and thought that maybe restaurants would be in that location on that north side of the block. They might add cafe seating. Unfortunately, we don't have businesses like that there, and so we thought a great tribute to Aldo and his legacy would be Leopold benches, where you could kick your feet up and just relax and enjoy the downtown in that block. Maybe you sit and are welcoming a friend to come over and have conversation, or a stranger, or maybe you just want to people watch. And so you could turn around and people watch at the farmer's market. So lots of different things with those benches. And so we're looking for an Eagle Scout, hopefully, to complete this project for us. Thinking 3 to 4 benches for seating up there. So our timeline, so 2024, Design Committee identifies that the new ADA concrete retaining wall is a future project for public art. So it's been a while. We've been talking about this project. June 15th, we did have the deadline for the application to artists. June 24th is when the design committee met to go through these 3 artists, or narrow it down to 3 artists. June 29th tonight, we are presenting this to City Council for feedback. We would like to then on July 15th have that final artist selected and award that contract to that artist. This summer, we would do the wall preparation and begin the installation of that mural. Downtown Partners would coordinate with the city, pay for any permits for temporary parking space closures during that time. And then the target completion would be September 26th during the farmer's market, where we could celebrate this brand new mural and do a ribbon cutting. But we do have a contingency of having it done by October, just in case weather permits or weather delays us. So, other things to know, we have talked to several of the business owners. They are concerned about what the topic is. When they heard about Aldo Leopold, they were very pleased. But once we have that final rendering, we will walk that through with the business owners and building owners, with our block captains being part of that communication. So with that, I guess what questions do we have, concerns, or anything that we can answer?
Any comments, questions, concerns?
I
I
could go in
need
the right
to say
direction.
that I was not present at the artist selection.
No, this is the first time you're seeing this, Kay, right? He's like, I wasn't there.
And I'm very excited about it.
And I did have a
I think it
list.
will add a lot to the block.
Yeah, I think so too. I did have a list. So Elizabeth's here, Stephanie's here, Carolyn C. Blair, Julie Nichols, Kay Weiss, Geraldine Horn, Vanessa Watson, Tommy Hagan, Kathy Bentz, Jerry Johnson, and Gretchen Miller are all part of our design committee. So, Tim, you're going to say something?
Like I said, I think you're headed in the right direction. Looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, and the thing with this as well, I'm going to go back a couple slides just so you can see. there are going to be cars parked along that. And so that again is, we want this to be very, I hate to say, like, you don't want to interact, subtle. You don't want to interact with it. You don't want to have it like be the angel wings where you want to take a picture in front of. It just adds to the ambiance of that block in downtown.
Just softens it, makes it more welcoming, and
Yeah.
so it doesn't
Less
look
of
like
a
a concrete wall.
Yes.
I think that's great. And I love that we're having a little more focus on Aldo. We don't really capitalize on him enough as a community, I think. And, yeah, it's great. Good job, guys.
All right, so just to let you know other things, of course, this mural will be added to our downtown app where we have our art walking tour, so you can always download that. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Do we have to do anything?
They just need our,
Just give them
Yeah.
a thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right, next on our discussion items, we have the fireworks update. And I think we've got a nice slideshow in here too.
Good afternoon. Following Amy's a tough task, but I'll try it. Just here to give an update, fireworks as they pertain to the city of Burlington. Feel free to ask me any questions as we go through. Burlington City Code, section 51.12, I'll read it to you here, shall be the municipal infraction to discharge consumer fireworks in the city limits, except on July 3rd between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 p.m., July 4th between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 p.m., and then on New Year's Eve from 9 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. extending. I'll summarize that again. On July 3rd, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., July 4th, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. is what we're talking about this next week. Any other time outside those dates and times, it is a municipal infraction in the city of Burlington.
And do we have a net to drop over them when they?
I do not, no. Continuing on, looking deeper into this code here, just want to touch on, it shall be a municipal infraction for any person to discharge any fireworks while intoxicated or under the influence. I think that's just a point that I wanted to drive home. Again, even if you're within the days and the hours, the location of use is also important. Fireworks may also only be used on private property with the owner's consent. That fireworks are not permitted in public property, parks, right-of-ways, streets, anything like that. So again, the date, the time, private property is what we're looking for here. Novelty fireworks, they remain legal. Spot novelty is defined as sparklers, snakes, and snaps. Those are sold at your local vendors, Target, Walmart, outside of the fireworks vendors. They are legal at any date and time. The purchase of fireworks, Iowa State Code 727.2 allows the sale of consumer fireworks June 1st to July 8th. What we adopted in the city of Burlington is the purchasing of fireworks, right? We adopted the state code with the exception that they are not authorized for use on any other day other than July 3rd, 4th, and December 31st. Just touch on the opportunity here for firework safety. Having a bucket of water nearby for sparklers once they've extinguished, throw them in that bucket of water and just leave them be. Never relight malfunctioning fireworks. Never put your face over malfunctioning fireworks. And then always maintain a safe distance and be cognizant about what you're doing. What we really recommend is the local approved fireworks displays. There are many of them listed there. The ones in the city of Burlington are the Bees Community Field, the Golf Club, and the Symphonic Blast a little bit later on July 11th. And then other local is West Burlington Days and Sperry Fireworks. The dates are listed there as you see them. Reporting fireworks concerns July 3rd and July 4th is a very busy day for us, even busier for people in DESCOM. We encourage the non-emergency line, 671-7001, for any reports of the neighborhood. Of course, you're going to want to have your information ready and prepared. For the details, we're encouraging those to dial 911 only for emergency. I'll take this time to also say that our Facebook pages, our media outlets, they have all this information on there as well. We just released one as well in conjunction with the police department. So all this summarized information is being blasted via media outlets. Again, dial 911 only for emergencies, not a firework on your house, not that they're keeping your dogs awake. With that, enjoy a safe 4th of July, adhering to the city code and safety recommendations. Any questions? Call Wayne Thompson.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions or comments?
I just wish we had a net to draw.
Right?
Any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you for coming and explaining it all
Yeah.
every year.
Thank you.
We need it.
Thank you, well
Thanks.
done.
All right. Up next, we have our board and commission reports. Did you have
Nothing
any?
this week?
Nothing this week?
I attended the Upper Mississippi Waterway Association meeting last week in Moline, and learned quite a bit about the kinds of grants and things that have become available to those of us along the river above St. Louis until 2021. Our ports were not listed with the federal government. They stopped at St. Louis on the river and through the Corn Growers Association or something. And while they have lobbied and gotten the federal government to include the ports on their port map, they've always recognized them as ports, but they've never included them on the maps. So as of 2022, our port is listed on the port map as our Bettendorf or Davenport and all the ones north of us, and on the Illinois River as well. So that has made over $50 million in grants available to communities in this part of the nation for port improvement and river developments.
Nice. That's great.
It was
Good to hear.
a very interesting meeting, and there will be another one in Canton, Missouri in July.
Very good. All right. I did have a meeting with the renewable energy, and we talked a little bit about the Drop It program and thinking about getting some more clear signage and trying to figure out a way to promote it a little better and explain it, because it's not really super clear about the process on even Drop It's website. Like how many you're supposed to put in, or what the glass is supposed to be and what counts, what doesn't. Yeah, so just kind of going through that. So talking about doing some educational things at the farmer's market. And yeah, that's about it though. I don't have anything else. All right, if you guys wanted to leave, you can. I know you don't. That's the end of our discussion items. Now we're gonna talk about everything else. So I don't know. No hard feelings. You all have to stay though. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks. All right. Next we have the proposed regular agenda for July 6th, 2026. We'll have a proclamation, Parks and Rec Month. That's exciting. Did you want to talk about that at all? No? It's just, yeah. And we will have the swearing in of Wayne Thompson. as police chief for the city clerk. It's gonna be a party that day.
Yes.
Do you have any?
Big time party.
Yeah.
We're excited.
And next we talking about our resolution rejecting bids for the 2026 Seal Coat Streets resurfacing project. This is always a bummer.
So in front of you, we had hoped to have an award bid for the Seal Coat project. So we did a bid opening last Tuesday, and we received one bid in the amount of $631,155. The estimate was at $385,000, so being 80% more than the estimate and not having the available funds, I'm recommending that we reject the bid. We had a discussion today at my staff meeting about how we proceed, not just with this specific project, but Seal Coat in general. We reached out to several vendors that used to do this type of work in the past, and we'll ask them again kind of why they didn't bid. Unfortunately, if there's no one out there to do the work for this type of work, we're going to have to probably have a different strategy. Meaning moving those funds that we traditionally would have spent on Seal Coat into some sort of an asphalt overlay. But it's kind of a bigger strategic infrastructure conversation than just, this specific project. But we will, we'll be tackling quite a bit of Seal Coat area with some of the sewer separation that's upcoming. So we'll intend to upgrade it from Seal Coat to an asphalt overlay or some full depth asphalt, kind of depending on the project. But we'll have to think about this pretty heavily as we walk into the next CIP budget season and how we portion out the funds from road use tax kind of moving forward.
Any-
I'll just put this out there, excuse me. There was a day when the fellows out at Public Works did the seal coating, and it was never better than when they done it.
Yeah.
I know it'd be real expensive to get back into that and get all that equipment in, but
Yeah, I mean, we could price out some equipment on what that would take. One of the things that even if we were to move the money over to asphalt, the dollars in asphalt won't go as much as they did in Seal Coat as far as number of linear foot. So you're still going to have a shortfall on some of those roadways that are nearing their end of life. So they'll have to essentially be patchworked now to kind of hold them together. That's something we could explore. We haven't self-performed Seal Coat in 15 years, but if it's something that we want to try and do, I mean, it's a bigger conversation, obviously, than just a rejecting, but we'll look into it, I guess.
yeah, we had quite a few more employees back in the day when they did that too, so.
Yep.
So are you saying that the companies just don't want to do this anymore? Is that?
Well, one that we've had in the past is no longer in business. One that's down in Keokuk area, I don't know that they don't do it anymore. One of the things that's different maybe than what, the whole state of Illinois, they seal coat a lot of their county roads. It's significantly easier work to go in there and lay out 10 miles of seal coat because you don't have water valve boxes or manholes. When we bring them in here, we do, 5 blocks, pick up
Right.
and move and go do a couple more blocks. So it's not as, appetizing, if that's the right word to bid on. It's a little bit more,
I have that
mobilization
problem.
type stuff.
I have that problem with my house. No one wants to work on an old house. They want to do new construction, so, yeah.
Okay, we're good, good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nick.
Yep.
All right, next we have a resolution approving agreement for professional services for the Parks and Forestry Maintenance Building Conceptual Planning and Design Concepts.
So with this in the budget for FY '27 for project planning and design for Parks and Forestry Maintenance Building. Engaged with Carly Nelson to start that process, and they submitted a proposal that's in the packet in an amount not to exceed $25,000 for initial concept designs. This will include a code study for the facility, evaluate the building site or sites, develop a space program, prepare a conceptual floor plan, prepare a conceptual overall budget, and provide a report. So kind of initial stages of trying to identify what is the actual cost and needs of the department for the facility and moving that forward through the process. So it's a time and material agreement with a not to exceed $25,000 for that work right now.
Any questions? Okay. All right. Next is a resolution approving the purchase of a cloud-based surveillance system for Burlington Urban Service from Radio Engineering Industries, REI.
So this resolution would install a new cloud-based camera system on the Burlington Urban Services fleet. I think I highlighted probably a little bit better than what I'll say verbally here, but we have 4 buses that have an existing camera system. That system is no longer maintained or supported by its vendor. So we need to do something about those camera systems anyway. That amount to upgrade them to the current type operation is $14,000. And so what I'm proposing is to make a change to the whole fleet to a cloud-based, so there's a cellular network on the buses. The video feed is broadcast to a web browser. And so, you know, bus 736 is out on the road. I could pull up its video footage live on a web browser. Under current operations, if there's an incident on the bus has to come back to the facility. We have to pull a hard drive, and then we have to connect it to the appropriate computer because there's software that makes that programming viewable. And so oftentimes it's in my office that camera footage has to be seen. And so the bus has to kind of come off its route, do its thing, or has to wait till the next day. And so the proposal in front of you would cost $31,211.60 to outfit all of the buses with new new computer cellular network type stuff. There will be an ongoing cost associated with the licensing and the cellular system, so that's $6,800 a year. And so that's in the $31,000 bill that would come with this approval. So we would have to budget for it in the following fiscal years. From an efficiency standpoint of my time and my staff's time to be able to get video footage in our hands pretty quickly, I think is a major bonus. You know, you can actually do performance evaluations relatively easily by viewing their camera footage on how well, you know, bus driver A is doing. And so as long as they know that this is how you're going to be evaluated based on your bus driving skills, you know, it helps actually allow us to review how well our drivers are doing. So there's actually even a GPS location in there as well. And so from a liability standpoint, in case there's something to happen, we can prove where that bus is or is not. I'm hoping that we can tap into the GPS piece of it in the future and then reflect that onto a mobile app, but that's another conversation for another day. So,
Yeah, that's good.
but the funds for this would come out of a Public Works Equipment Replacement Fund. And so over the last several years, we've funded buses in our CIP, not knowing whether or not we would get the grants that would reflect that purchase. And so we've built up a fund balance of $61,583. The $31,000 bill would come out of those funds. So it's not a budgeted expense for fiscal year 26 or even 27, but it'll come out of fund balance, so.
What views are the cameras going to provide? I mean, is it just watching the driver and passengers, or do you also will you be able to see?
So on most of our
traffic?
buses, we have 5 feeds. So we have front, driver, the back, and then there's even side cameras. So there's 5 or 6 feeds on the bus. Kind of depends on the length of the bus more than anything.
I think that's a heck of a price. That's, from the experience I've had when I was working with FedEx, and they put the new cameras in. Well worth the cost, but I thought they cost a lot more than that. So,
Yeah. And when you parcel out the difference of the 14,000 that we were going to have to spend that regardless because of the outdated systems that, you know, we had an incident on the bus and I could not pull footage because the cameras were on that hard drive. And then you think about the reoccurring cost. It's a cost, but it's something that's for the cellular network. The actual capital difference between that and there is, you know, it's about $11,000. So I think it's a very worthwhile upgrade for us to be able to access things kind of on the go.
That GPS part of it's pretty significant too. People I drive for now can tell where I'm at every moment.
Tell how fast you're driving too, right?
Yeah.
That's an important thing from my perspective as a supervisor.
And how fast, and a lot of people can tell that, so you gotta obey the laws.
You do.
So with this equipment, once it's installed, say we get a new vehicle, not even maybe a bus, maybe a conversion van or something, you know, could we move that equipment to a different vehicle?
So the cameras would probably stay in there, but the actual equipment that make
Right.
the system broadcasted can be moved. So when we purchased a new bus recently, REI has installed the camera systems in there, so they're well aware of that. And so we'll just we'll get a price when we purchase the bus to just have that system brought over.
Right.
So it might mean bringing down the old system, but adding a new one on the new bus.
Okay. Any other questions?
Great.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
For safety, it sounds like a great thing.
All right, we move on to the proposed consent agenda. And up first, we have our lovely resolution approving nuisance abatements for various properties.
Only 2 pages.
Oh, it's growing. All right. Next, we have a resolution approving the appointment of chief of police. Any comments on that? No? Yeah, it's good. Oh.
I had no comment.
I was like, oh, what do you got? Next, we have a resolution approving a facilities restoration and planned services agreement with Interstate Power and Light Company, Alliant Energy.
So this resolution would approve a master services agreement. That's kind of how I've been referring to it. I think it's termed a little bit different in the resolution. This is a renewal of an existing agreement that we had with Alliant Energy. And so we at the City of Burlington own a certain amount of lighting and electrical infrastructure that we don't have the equipment to kind of operate and maintain. And so we've used them from time to time on individual contracts, but we use this master services agreement as kind of the, I don't know what the right word is, kind of the basis of getting into those kind of side agreements to be able to help us. You know, for instance, on West Avenue, the siren pole there by Notre Dame's field, we had Alliant Energy come in and replace that pole because it had damage. So we've used this agreement from time to time. It's fairly helpful to have them kind of available when we need them.
Any questions? All right, next I have a resolution to install a no parking zone in the 2000 block of Sunnyside.
Eric, could you pull up a map, just the kind of the drawn one? This resolution would install a no parking zone on Sunnyside, immediately west of the Pilger Avenue, west 95 foot. We were made aware of a couple of incidents that have occurred, and after staff did some kind of in-depth research, and this is all in the memo, there have been 11 accidents at that intersection in the last 10 years. Sight distance is the biggest issue. As you can see on Pilger, looking to the west, that kind of the area in yellow, as cars come around that curb, the visibility is pretty tough through there. There are a couple things going on. One, you have the radius of the curb as traffic is coming around that. It's hard to see. There's been a retaining wall, and then there's a telephone pole right there. We have a stop sign right there. Alliant Energy has one of their locate tubes sticking up in there. So it's awfully hard when cars are also parked there to see any of that car traffic that's coming at 30 mile an hour or more. So one of the people that brought it to my attention is one of the people that would be kind of impacted by some of the no parking. We did not go out and ask the residents because we had engineering reasons to issue the no parking area. There may be a couple folks that are upset with this, but from the accident report that has kind of followed, I would recommend approval of installing this no parking zone.
Okay.
And there's a sight distance. It's kind of hard to read because there's typically colors, but when we scan it in there, you can't see it. That's the second map in the memo that kind of shows you the sight lines. So we had our engineering staff take a look at that, so.
Any questions? Okay. All right, next I have a resolution approving final acceptance, final payment, and release of retention monies for the Tiger Grant Downtown Streetscape Project, including Main Street and Jefferson Street improvements.
So it's too bad that they left because I was going to say that Tiger Grant isn't quite over with until next Monday. And so there's been a lot of back and forth, you know, why is this taking 2 years? Well, there's a lot of back and forth. There's DOT audits. There's a lot of paperwork processes that have to go on kind of in the background between the DOT, ourselves, and the contractor to make sure all the, you know, the Buy American certifications are uploaded, you know, all the Ts and Is are dotted and crossed. And so we're finally at that point. This resolution would authorize final payment of $52,000 and then release retention dollars in 30 days, and that amount is $30,000. So if you go to the memo, you can kind of see the funds that have been used for that. The Tiger Grant funds amount to $11,000. We used kind of a combination of,
Million,
what,
million,
$1 million?
11 million.
What did I say?
Thousand. Not even like- it's
Sorry.
Details, right?
Yeah, details.
$11 million in Tiger Grant
Sorry.
funds. We had $9.5 million in GO bonds. As you can see at the bottom, we have a fund balance of those. So when we did the GO bonding, we were in the midst of the project, and so we didn't know what kind of change orders. We had some contingency plans in there, and so I don't know if you want me to talk about where those funds will go, the $2 million.
You can
And
touch on it
change.
just briefly, Nick, that'd be great.
So that $2.2 million in fund balance of funds that we had borrowed for the project that didn't get expended for the project will get turned over to some other capital projects like sewer separation and or road purpose. But then you see the other local funding, that was sewer dollars that we used when we installed the secondary force main and did some of the other storm work up and down Main Street. So happy to get this one off the books, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
I think there's still technically some Tiger Grant work that's going on. As a part of it, we have some performance measure pieces, that you have to do with any federal project that you verified it. And there, I think we have one more count that has to go on, but that'll go on and, you know, no one will even know that it happened. We just have to, you know, turn in that paperwork, so.
Any more counts or work with mussels?
Yes, so that was more associated with the riverfront side. So
Yeah.
this is the second closeout piece. We did the riverfront closeout probably over a year ago. Because there was mussels found when we were doing the investigation, we have a mussel check in to see what kind of mussels are still there. We still have till 27 to do mussel checks. So that's just part of the gig when you get into these federal projects, so.
And back onto this one, some of the counts that you have to continue for the next 2 years, probably? Or through 27 as well for this one? Our pedestrian, tourism, some economic development counts,
Yeah.
those types of things?
Pedestrians are the ones that people may notice. There'll be some like pedestrian counters out on Main and Jeff, so.
Yep.
But that would be the visible only count that anybody would really kind of know that's going on.
Like somebody with a clicker.
They actually have some like things that they tie up on the pole, and they actually, visually track them that way.
Sounds good. Any
Sometimes there are infrared cameras too, with just a beam of light
Yep,
that
you
as
break
you
it
walk,
and-
you break
yeah.
it and counts. Yep.
Interesting. All right, is that it? We good? Okay, thank you. Next, we have a resolution approving purchase of a large bucket truck for the Forestry Division.
Forestry worked through the State of Iowa contracting bid, Sourcewell, for a quote on a bucket truck. This is a specialized vehicle that requires specific features to meet the needs and safety of the forestry staff. I'm looking at a 2027 Freightliner. M2 106 Plus with Terex High Ranger XT Pro 70 lift. Goes 70 feet in the air to remove some of the tall trees in our system. This was budgeted in FY27 CIP in the amount of $240,000 using geo bonding, so just under the budget. Would plan to be ready for delivery hopefully by September of this year. Current vehicles of 2001, experiencing mechanical cosmetic issues, has high miles and hours, something that we've had some repairs on over the last few years. And then upon delivery of the new vehicle, the existing one would be sold through Purple Wave Public Works, estimated around $20,000 for that process. So would be additional funds coming back through that. But is a critical piece of equipment for the forestry department to maintain our tree inventory in the street right-of-way and park system. So recommend moving forward with this.
Okay. Any questions? Nope.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Next, we have a resolution approving engagement letter with Piper Sandler and Company.
So that one's me. So that's the aforementioned geo bonding for 2026 that Eric was talking about in the engagement letter. Piper Sandler serves as the city's financial planner. And in this particular case, this engagement letter would start the process for them to begin to look at, plan, and place our 2026 geo bonds. This engagement letter would allow Piper Sandler formally to consult in the planning, secure rating for our bonds, provide assistance with our disclosure to legal counsel, work on due diligence, and then coordinate the final efforts to close those bonds, including our operating budget forecast, our debt service through the maturity of the bonds. We have seen in past years that Piper Sandler has underwritten some bonds. They've purchased some of our bonds. That's not a guarantee by this. It just depends on the cost, the placement, and the interest rates. So just so you know that that's not guaranteed that they would pick up any of our bonds as they have in years past. So would ask for a council approval to start that process.
Okay. Questions? Okay. Next, I have a resolution approving 28E agreement between the City of Burlington and the Burlington Community School District for transportation services for 2026 through 2027.
This resolution would approve an agreement with the school district. This is a renewal agreement with the school to provide transportation at a rate of $1 per ride based on the usage. And so in the previous contract, we had 40,000 displaced over a 10-month period that we would invoice to the school district. Upon discussion with them and kind of the increased ridership, we increased it to 45,000 for this next school year. We saw a fairly large increase, and I highlighted that in my memo. So we did discuss this with the incoming superintendent, and there might be some potential changes coming to the Burlington Urban Service over the next year or so. So we will, keep that in mind as we move forward, but there's no reason to not approve this.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Good. All right. Next, we have a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Burlington and Kinetic Broadband for locating services.
So back this kind of early spring, late winter, a representative from Kinetic Broadband came in and discussed a community-wide fiber install. There's been some back and forth, but this MOU is put in front of you to approve so that we can ask for reimbursement for our locating services. Waterworks is also included underneath the compensation piece. And so we put out there for $55 an hour for both entities locating services that we would track the hours for and then invoice Kinetic. And so this would be upon approval of this MOU and then the right-of-way permits, we will have another community-wide fiber install starting in the next couple weeks. So think exactly what happened last year with IMON with another organization. So it will be invasive, it will be lengthy. We're going to lay down the rules of the road as they move forward. that they need to be the primary contact for the residents. A lesson learned, IMON did a great job of communicating with our residents, but we're gonna hold this company and any future companies to the same standard. So that way our staff doesn't get bogged down with kinetic fiber install questions, concerns. We will still get them. But this is just the locating piece of it all, but as Chad knows, we had another entity approach us and asked us about another community-wide install, another company. So I have real concern about where all this stuff is gonna go in the right-of-way, because it's SUDAS standard that the fiber or any sort of communication line is installed at 36 inches deep or deeper, mostly from the frost line perspective. They all choose to go right at 36 because it's more expensive to go deeper. But the problem is they're all in the same vertical space in the right-of-way. And so when it comes to public projects, it becomes cumbersome, as we are witnessing with the Summer Street project. So I don't know. I wish there was a method where we could say, we're all full here. We're good to go at the city of Burlington. We don't need any more fiber companies coming in. So I'm sure I probably shouldn't be doing this in an open meeting, but I don't know that I care. I mean, because this is going to be impactful on our residents. It will be. I mean, I couldn't even imagine if the third company comes in and does what they say they're going to do. Having 3 solid years of a community-wide fiber install. Think of the corners where you see the pedestals, where you already see a MediaCom, a CenturyLink, an Alliant,
Yeah,
an IMON pedestal.
just all
Think
kinds of-
that this one is coming and then another one is. So I don't have a lot that I can do other than scare them. I guess I don't know what else to say. So I'm just trying to mentally prepare you, and we'll have to put out press releases and let the public know that this is coming.
Besides the underground fiber, are we gonna see more of the boxes, raised boxes that they couple the wires in and,
Yes.
boy, that's.
We can
that's
push
gonna
the flush mounts, but
Well-
it's,
Oh,
go
I'm sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, one of these companies that we've recently talked to, and I can't remember if it was these folks or the
It was
next
the
one.
other one.
Talked about everything being flush mount, or the underground handholds, but, I mean, there's nothing that the city can do to mandate that. They've just kind of led with that, which is great. I mean, that'll be a lot better. But it's really up to their own design standards as to what they put in.
We can't require,
No,
There's no ordinance we can create,
nope. It's all preempted by the state.
again.
I mean, we can try, but I don't know that, based on some of our other interactions, I don't know that that would go over so well.
well, I'm curious, we have one electric company. I know we have multiple telephone providers because of mobile phones now, but is there no way that we can put a limit on?
Unfortunately, in 2012, Chad, when the state made a state franchise agreement, it limited some of our authority to dictate some of that. And there's such a big push for rural regions, which we are, to have internet and competition. There's not a lot that we can really do. Trust me, I would love to. So,
Another state mandate.
All right, anything else on that? No, okay. Next, I have a resolution naming depositories for deposits of the city of Burlington. Oof.
So this resolution is being brought forward because we've had 2 banks that are changing names. I didn't change any of the amounts. I've just added the first Mid-Bank and Trust, which is formerly Two Rivers, and then the Nicollet National Bank, which is Midwest One. So, again, a lot of these banks on here are local banks that we go out for bids for CDs, is why you see the 15 million, because we do 5 million at a time. And then the other banks that we use the most, which is First Mid and Farmers and Merchants, have the larger amounts, so. Anybody have any questions?
I just have a suggestion that maybe we look at banks other than First Mid for the higher maximum deposits. Based on information, they aren't going to be as friendly to the community as the previous owners. I think we ought to go with the ones that have produced the most for the community and continue to. I don't know how you come up with that figure, but does that make sense, Stephanie?
Yeah, I mean, we can explore our options. Most of the money at First Mid is in a money market, so it would be finding another bank that maybe would take a large amount and give us a good interest rate, so,
Or divide it up into a couple of smaller money markets or CDs. And
yeah.
Stephanie and her team do look at that at least a couple, 3 times a year because we have kind of rolling maturities and that. So, and this is a resolution that can be looked at any time as those deposits may or may not change depending on RFPs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a resolution authorizing an application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for community project funding assistance for the Mississippi River Interceptor Design Project.
So this is an application for a U.S. EPA grant. This is reflective of the first iteration of community project funding dollars that we were, I guess, awarded. So we have to apply for money that we've already had our ability to do. So this resolution essentially authorizes us as staff to execute the application process for the EPA grant. It's $1.7 million in it used to be STAG, which was, I don't even know what it stands for, but we were going to use it for the Mississippi Interceptor, and we were going to use it primarily for engineering costs to try and use these dollars. So,
Okay. Sounds good. Next, we have a resolution approving bid for construction of an open-air shelter building in Perkins Park.
Parks Department has received donated funds for construction of a shelter building at Perkins Park. It was been identified as need. We've had a lot more use at the park with the pickleball, disc golf, and just the other uses in that park area. Not just for those, but a lot more use in that park, which has been great that we've seen over the last year. But have had an individual donate funds. Those are used to purchase beams from the former Jewish temple on Division Street from the Heritage Trust for construction of a shelter at the park site. Would be on a portion of the existing asphalt just to the north of the pickleball courts. There are 2 courts there, basketball courts. One would remain similar to what we have at White Park on Angular Street. We have a shelter on the court there, so this would be at the front section. And did solicit bids for this project and posted it, received 2 bids, low bid of $47,999 from Myers Construction of Mediapolis. And again, the donated funds would cover the entirety of the project.
Wow, that's amazing.
Can't argue that.
Yeah. That's great.
Thank the donor.
Yeah, right? Thank you to whoever. And then last future discussion items, we have Nancy Napie Park. Some exciting stuff, I'm sure. We'll talk about, it doesn't say a future, when the future is, but it's okay. All right. I guess we will go around and see who has anything to add. Anything from the fire department?
Starting with me tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes, briefly, Deputy Chief Ramus really highlighted and hit the hard-hitting notes and points that we want the community to know about and where we reference our local and state rules. But I would just piggyback and say that on the City of Burlington website, specifically the fire department page, we have a section that's dedicated to fireworks and open burning regulations and rules. So if there's a moment that somebody comes to you and wants more information, I would point them to go to that site and that spot, because any additional help for this specific week coming up would be welcomed, because on top of an already stressful and busy work day and week, this is a week that at fire, it gets even busier. And not to speak for law enforcement, but they're awfully busy over there too, and especially dispatch. So any help we can get, we would welcome people to spread the rules and the good information. And I will say this too, the display information on our fire department page right now reflects last year's dates. We'll get that updated. But all the other information that's on there right now is still relevant and accurate. So that's where you can go find some of the fun facts and rules that people need to follow in the community. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Thanks, sounds good, thank you. Anything from the police department?
Nothing for me, happy to be home.
Yeah, sure. Anything?
A couple things, just an update on 1100 Division Street, kind of progress to date. We've had 10 showings of interest at the site for individuals, one formal offer that was well below our asking price and weren't able to get to a point there. We are working with the grant manager, RSM, to the process to hire a realtor to try and move that forward. We have until December of this year to sold or occupied, figuring out what that is. It's currently listed at $169,900, but Angela has shown to quite a few people that have interest. They've been amazed at the project and property. Just weren't able to figure out ways for them financing-wise to come up with the funding to do it, but still feel positive based on that feedback that we'll be able to sell it, and hopefully working through RSM is always a slow process, so hopefully we can get a realtor on the project here shortly to move that a little quicker. Couple other things, did receive notice that are receiving the EPA funding for multi-purpose grant for cleanup of the Klein Center and some of their projects planning. So we'll have probably a agreement through the EPA bringing forward once we get that to move that project forward. Also, just a reminder, the pool open house is coming up next week, Thursday, July 9th, at the pool from noon to 1 and also from 5:30 to 7, trying to hit different people that have different hours of work, but come out, see some of the current renderings for the pool, and give your feedback on the project. We'll have a survey there as well, just to kind of update kind of what people see and what their thoughts are. There will be a couple food trucks there as well, so bring out your family and kids can see the current pool and current conditions, and then see kind of what the planned concepts are, and give your feedback on the direction that we're going and kind of what you want to see there. So Thursday, July 9th, noon to 1 and 5:30 to 7 at the existing Dankworth Park pool. Encourage everyone to come out and bring your families, enjoy the park before and after as well. There's a lot to do in Dankworth Park, so.
Thank you. Oh, how about the back row? Just start and work our way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waterworks.
Yes, water.
So, the Burlington Water Works, we've been working to do a new filter house, a bunch of upgrades at the treatment plant out of 99 that we're forced to have to do. But anyway, we recently applied for the Department of Defense. They offer a grant. It's called a Defense Community Improvement Grant. And so we went down the avenue with IAAP as the push, to try and help to get money with the military. Well, they have this grant. And with the help of Chad and the West Burlington City Administrator, and then Regional Planning, we applied for this grant. We're hoping and it ranges anywhere from $250,000 to $20 million. So I don't know, guess which one I'm shooting for, But anyway, it would drastically change our upcoming project that we have that should start construction in 28 at about $34 million. It would move another portion of that project ahead and allow us to marry the two together instead of piecemealing and having to discard new stuff to make it work as it is now. So anyway, keep our fingers crossed. We should know by August if we've been accepted for this grant, and then also we should know what kind of funds that are going to be available to us. So I'm really keeping my fingers crossed and hopeful on this one, so it'll make a big difference for our community. So,
Huge.
but anyway, thanks for Chad's help on this. So,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Public Works?
It's a holiday week this week, so staff is off on Friday, which means your solid waste pickup routes. If your pickup is normally on Friday, you were picked up on Thursday. So we actually do double duty. We pick up Thursday and Friday. So just so people have a heads up, we post the schedule out, but sometimes people forget.
Is there a news release maybe on that one? for that?
We probably
Sometimes
could
you-
do one today or tomorrow rather, and let somebody know, because inevitably we always have a bunch of calls the following day and say we
Yeah.
didn't pick up their trash, so.
Right.
The other items of note, the 8th Street intersection is getting closer. We had a little sewer snafu that had to get kind of buttoned up before they could make their final pours. So early next week sometime, the central exit onto Washington Street should be open back up, so. And then we still anticipate asphalt, but it won't act as full closures for up and down the whole corridor, so. Obviously, you can see the destruction out in front. There's still some time frame that we have left on that. They look like they're formed up for a pour sometime tomorrow, so things are moving there.
That's good they're moving. Right. Wastewater?
Hello. So this fiscal year, the fiscal year '27, I have, our biggest project is our aeration blower replacement project. And I would like to extend an invitation to council. Of course, 2 of them are missing right now, but I'd like to extend that invitation to come down and check things out prior to the project. This is just to allow you to experience firsthand a project that is difficult to appreciate through budget sheets. Our existing aeration system is original to the plant, dating back to 1982. And then during the tour, if you guys choose to come, to experience the environment that the operators and maintenance team deal with. It's very loud. It generates a lot of heat. It's also a very basic system that is very inefficient. So the new system will replace those blowers with modern variable speed type blowers. Instead of operating at only one speed like the existing ones do, the new blowers will continuously adjust to the demands that are there instead of having multiple motors come on at a time. It'll be variable and it'll be exact, and more efficient. It'll be lower maintenance cost on that, less time spent on that. It'll be better control, it'll be quieter and cooler. So my hope is that by seeing the existing system before construction and then returning afterwards, if you do that, you'll have an appreciation for the improvements, not only in operational efficiency and energy savings, but also in the working conditions. So I'd be happy to arrange tours.
Tim, are you thinking like a 5th Monday? Or some other time sooner than that?
So to prevent open meetings violations, just have everyone come,
Come differently, okay.
or, either
Yeah.
individually or, the 5th
What-
Monday thing might do the trick too.
When does the project start? So what's our deadline?
You have probably plenty of time for the first tour.
To
And-
see the before work.
Yeah, to see the before work. And right now, over the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, we'll have at least one empty aeration tank. And those are kind of impressive to look at when they're empty, but, which is
Great,
also part of that
thank
system.
you.
We'll get
Yeah,
you down
you're
there.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
definitely.
interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Tim.
you. Anything from the library today? Okay, all right, nothing?
You're surviving summer reading.
We are, it's going great.
That's good. All right, Chad, do you have anything?
Yes,
Oh,
a couple
man.
things.
I knew it.
Item number 3 on the regular agenda, would council be opposed to moving that to consent? That's the seal
Yeah,
coat.
the rejection of the.
Rejection of the seal coat.
I think that would be fine.
All right.
Since it's a rejection.
All right.
We don't have the money.
Yeah, we'll move that. I wanted to make just a follow-up comment on item number 10 on the consent agenda. That's the depositories for deposit. Know that those numbers are not to exceed, so it doesn't mean we have that much in there in those funds in those accounts. It's just, it gives that not to exceed limit. So that gives Stephanie and her team freedom to kind of move some of that around as markets dictate, so. And then finally, I guess the only other thing that I have is, please don't take my silence on the swearing in of Chief Wayne Thompson as anything less than excitement and exuberance for his pending appointment next week. So I'm excited to have him in that seat. I'm excited to have him back. He's been gone for a while. He's been attending the FBI Academy, so I know he's excited to be back too. So I didn't want those two to pass quietly without expressing my excitement. So
Thank you.
thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
I'd like to ask, can you clarify about the supervision of, or the FBI recognition of our community? There was something in the release that said we would then be an FBI accredited community.
So that's something different. I'll let-
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Anything you want to?
No, we can take it offline.
Okay. No, the police department has been working for the past year or so, I think, on accreditation to become an accredited department. That's separate than what Wayne had gone through at the FBI Academy. That's really more of a personal level, a personal or professional development process. But what you might have seen, I sent some information out or came from Chief Schaefer, was about the process that the department's going through to attain accreditation.
So that's like the library accreditation.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Sorry, Tim.
No, did you have anything else you want to add? Tim, do you got anything? Okay, I don't, and I think, yeah, that'll be it for the meeting. Thank you for coming.